off the tape. And I was on speakerphone. There was a group of writers, and
Yeah.
really did. So then the conversation was, well, let's turn him heel.
Obviously, the career of Santino Marella was fantastic. I mean, one of the most beloved characters in WWE. Do you ever wish that you got to do more of your judo when you were in WWE, or get to work more of that style?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw myself as doing. But it didn't take me long to realize, okay, you got something special here. You have locked it. It's yours. There's wasn't even competition for the comedic role for years. I'm almost looking around like, why isn't someone trying to take this from me? This is like,
it's a good gig. You and R-Truth have had like some of the best gigs in WWE.
Yeah, it's so easy. And I was still green. So Japan, I'm doing MMA. I'm in Louisville for like a couple years. And even when I was Boris, I was doing I was squashing people, and I was Boris. I wasn't Santino yet. I was Boris. Yeah. And, squashing people is not going to do anything in WWE because I'm a tiny guy up there. I get called up. It's a land of giants. So
you and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. So one day I'm driving to Elizabethtown, Kentucky for a house show, an OVW house show. And I get this call, and Vince had this idea for someone to come out of the audience in Italy, because Raw was in Milan. Mm-hmm. And he's like, is there anybody in developmental that is Italian, from Italian heritage? I can speak Italian. So my phone goes off, my Nokia, bring.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's Bucci going, Boris, your background's Italian, right? Because, Anthony Carelli. And I go, yeah. And he goes, can you speak Italian? Okay. So a month earlier, Dusty Rhodes calls this guy Fearless Jack Bull, who was it was a hilarious gimmick of like a past his prime, Evel Knievel, alcoholic. It was a really funny gimmick.
Yeah.
And Jack Bull thinks someone's ribbing him doing a Dusty impersonation. So he goes, hello, Jack Bull, this is the Dusty Rhodes. Can you ride a motorcycle? He goes, no. He goes, okay, can you learn how to ride a motorcycle? He goes, no. And that was the end of the conversation. And then he looks at his phone and sees 203, and he's like,
no.
That was Dusty Rhodes. So because Cody was in OVW at the time, Dusty came down to see the group of talent that was there. Say hi to his son, right, too,
Yeah.
And the story got brought up. And Dusty said, if they ever call you and ask you if you can do anything, the answer is yes.
Always.
And then you better go learn how to ride a goddamn motorcycle like tomorrow.
Yes. So
they called me and they're like, can you speak Italian? I'm like, ding, yes. And when I would work downtown at New Ad, actually.
Yeah.
My car had a tape cassette. I think it's here somewhere, actually.
Wow.
That's in the back. I have a tourist Italian cassette. It was like, I used to play it in rush hour traffic, just nonstop. It would flip sides, play it. And he'd be like, I want a hotel. How much for the room? I would like to buy some cheese and whatever. It was basic Italian.
Yeah.
And I just remembered, I regurgitated a couple lines off the tape. And I was on speakerphone. There was a group of writers. And I actually said, vorrei un mezzo chilo di formaggio, which means I want to buy a half kilo of cheese. And I guess it was enough to convince them that sounded pretty good. I can kind of hear them I could hear them looking at each other.
Yeah.
And going, I don't know. It sounded like Italian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. You're going to fly out tomorrow to Italy, which I've never been to Italy at this point. And you might, fingers crossed, debut on Monday Night Raw as this Italian guy. And I'm just like, wow. And that's what happened. I went to Borders, the bookstore.
Hell yeah.
I bought like an 8 DVD pack of Italian, and my buddy downloaded it on my buddy Beast Man Beast downloaded it on my iPod, and the entire flight I'm like drinking coffee, just trying to like absorb as much Italian as I can. And then I get there, and then it's like, yeah. And as soon as I walk in the door, the production meeting's coming out. Like seriously, I walk out. Arn Anderson comes out of the door. He has the papers, Mm-hmm. He goes, "Oh, you're having a good day, kid. You winning the IC strap?" and walks away. I'm like, the hell did he just say? IC strap. That means Intercontinental Championship, right? Is that what? And then what's going
Yeah.
on here? And then Johnny Ace was there. He was, hey, Vince wants to talk to you. And I go meet Vince, and he tells me this idea of, this guy coming out of the audience. And then we go meet Umaga and Bobby Lashley, who he recognized me from OVW. Nice to see a friendly face.
Totally.
Michael Hayes was there. And yeah, and then they told me what happened, what was going to happen. And then the show kind of started, and they brought me out to my seat. And it was like the first segment, I think, or maybe a couple of segments in. Anyway, when Vince's music hits, they rush the barricade, the guard barricade. And I'm like, oh my God, should I have done that? Because I'm 6-7 people back. Vince he won't see me. Like, he's not going to see me at all. Oh my God, he's not going to see me. I'm like, he's not going to see me. Oh my God. And then once he starts talking, they kind of filter back to their seats. And then he introduces Umaga. And they run again. I go, oh my God, I missed it again.
Gosh.
I go, he's not going to see me. I'm 8 people back now. And then they all kind of slowly filter back to their seats. The security's like, go back to your seats. And then he issues the open challenge. And I was there first. So I jumped in. I'm in the front. I'm like, sorry, buddy, got something to do here. And I push him out of the way. And then he saw me, right? So it worked out. But like,
thank God.
Sometimes I watch it back, to show somebody, not just by myself. And I go, I guess it was a pretty good job, considering I'm like, don't mess this up. And the Eminem song, Lose Yourself, is in the background. You got one shot and this is it.
Yeah.
And gosh.
You did it. When did Vince realize that you were funny and decided, oh, now that's who you are? Yeah. So the WWE Universe was not impressed with being force-fed this fan. You don't say.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I beat Chris Masters. I roll up Shelton Benjamin. I'm pulling these victories. And everyone's like, yeah, right. As if, man. This guy was in the audience. And so they tried to say the backstory that although he was in the audience, he was training to be a wrestler, right? And that kind of thing. And people were just like, yeah, no thanks.
They weren't buying it.
And it was in Houston one time. It was the pay-per-view where Umaga won back the title. And he like gave me the spike. And they're like, one more time. Like, your people, kill him, finish him. I'm like, oh my God, these bloodthirsty savages, they want me dead. Like, really dead. So then the conversation was, well, let's turn him heel. If that doesn't work, then, see you later, repackage. I don't know. Who knows? I don't want to even think about it.
Yeah.
So they turned me heel, and I cut a promo, and it was funny from day one, me complaining in that accent. And this is talking about all the luck. Growing up in Toronto, like, all my friends, they're all first generation Canadians. So all their parents are from Europe, Croatia, Portugal, Greece, Malta, Poland, all our parents are from. So I always had that broken English around me my whole life. My family, like, they spoke like that. Yeah. So now I have to speak in this. Okay, my next door neighbor, Ivan. He's son of a gun, Ivan. Okay, he's the guy that says son of a gun. So I'm picking little bits and pieces of basically my childhood and incorporating them into the character. And I have an endless supply of funny content because I'm from a very European first generation neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that was like, I used all that stuff. People even call me out, like, you're just copying our parents, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the material.